They are now trying to create pathways to deport people who were actually in this country legally.
You are watching The Big Deal, where we are now focused on President Trump's immigration crackdown. This week, the Department of Homeland Security confirmed that the temporary protected status for Haitians in America will expire 6 months early on August 3rd. That means nearly 500,000 Haitians who were accepted into our country for humanitarian reasons are now on track to be deported back to Haiti, where a state of emergency has been in effect for nearly a year. Temporary protected status was created by Congress in the 1990s as a humanitarian measure that allows people displaced by natural disaster or armed conflict to legally live and work here in the United States. Last month, the Trump administration also moved to end protections for Venezuelans who were granted relief after fleeing a dictatorship and civil war in that country. Haitians and Venezuelans make up just two of more than a dozen ethnic groups that currently have protected status here in America. In this report, Spectrum News political reporter Vania Andre has reaction from the Haitian community.
They are now trying to create pathways to deport people who were actually in this country legally.
Communities and families on edge, New York lawmakers sounding off.
This decision ignores the dire reality in Haiti.
More than 500,000 Haitians living in the U.S. may soon be at risk of deportation after the Trump administration announced temporary protected status for Haitian migrants will come to an end in August.
People are not even going to restaurants to fear that they could get deported.
Jean-Pierre moved to New York after Haiti's devastating 2010 earthquake. Today, several of his relatives live, work, and pay taxes in the U.S. thanks to their temporary protected status. They all believe returning to Haiti is not an option.
It's violence in Haiti.
In 2021, Haiti's president was assassinated. Today, the capital city is largely controlled by gangs. The UN humanitarian coordinator for Haiti calling conditions there an unprecedented crisis.
I would say it is really heartbreaking to see, to witness, to listen to victims of violence.
Haitian communities across the country are bracing for potential deportations, like in Springfield, Ohio, where President Donald Trump falsely claimed that Haitians in the city were eating their neighbors' pets. In October, Trump was asked about his plans for TPS and Haiti as president.
Revoke it.
Temporary protected status was designed to allow people to live lawfully in the U.S. while their home country experiences armed conflict or natural disaster. In announcing the end of TPS for Haiti, the Department of Homeland Security said the system had been abused and exploited for decades.
You have to remove the people and you have to bring them back to their own country.
Vania Andre, Spectrum News.
Joining me now with more on all of this is Vania Andre, the editor-in-chief of the Haitian Times media organization. And Vania, thanks for being here. The Trump administration has argued that the TPS system has been, quote, exploited and abused. But as we have seen, many Haitians see the program as a lifeline, especially those who have been living here for years. What is the reaction to this news about people being sent back?
Well, I think the idea that this is a system that's been exploited just shows how devoid of reality he is about the situation that's happening in Haiti. We have a situation here where we have armed gangs that are literally going neighborhood by neighborhood, overtaking the capital, causing a humanitarian crisis, thousands of people fleeing from their homes, and day-to-day life disrupted. And so this idea that there's exploitation happening in terms of people trying to game the system is just completely, it's far-fetched and so far from the truth.
In a related way, the prelude to a lot of this deportation order, was a tall tale that we heard on the campaign trail, where Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio, were falsely accused of eating people's pets. In fact, Donald Trump famously said this during a presidential debate. Let's take a look at that.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
So, I mean, as a quick fact check, what is the truth of that, and how did it set the stage for the current deportation order?
I mean, it was absolutely like a debunked rumor. The person who inadvertently caused this rumor came out and said that there was no truth to it. But what you really see happening here is something that Haitians and Black immigrants are very used to in this country, and that's being scapegoated during a time of election to try to explain why certain populations of certain demographics of the population isn't thriving the way that they want to. They want to put blame on someone else. On the other side, we have bigger problems to really think about. The main harm that it caused was causing fear and insecurity for folks that were in Ohio. But writ large, the community knows that there are battles to face here in America, but then also back home.
We should note that President Trump actually attempted to end TPS, temporary protected status designation, for several countries, including Haiti, during his first term in office. But it was on hold as a court battle played out. Is that likely to happen again?
Absolutely. The main concern, though, is that unlike the first term, where we had some confidence in the courts, we see a court system here that is heavily influenced by conservative and Republican ideologies. And so the success that we saw with these legal challenges in the first term, we're not 100% sure how that will play out this term. But what we do know is that it's increasingly important for advocates to speak up and to be able to highlight to folks here in America that the situation in Haiti is not much different. If anything, it's worse than when TPS was initially granted in the wake of the earthquake in 2010.
Well, yeah, and in fact, I mean, I see here, according to the United Nations, more than 5,600 people were killed in Haiti last year. That's more than 107 people every single week. More than 1 million Haitians are homeless due to the gang violence that you were talking about. What can deportees expect to face if they are, in fact, sent back there?
They're going to face a society that is overwhelmingly unable to handle and repatriate them. There has been no word from the Haitian government in terms of how they would even attempt to repatriate these citizens. They're coming back to a capital that is really the lifeblood of the country, that is overrun with gangs. There's limited job opportunities, and effectively an open-air prison to some degree because of all of the flight restrictions that have happened over the last several months. And so they're going back into chaos where there's not really any avenue for prosperity or opportunity like they would encounter here.
Okay, well, we're going to keep an eye on all of this. Thank you so much for joining me, Vania Andre. Thank you for watching our YouTube channel. Let Spectrum News be your resource for balanced, in-depth political coverage, and click the subscribe button right here. You can also download our app or watch us on TV to learn more about the candidates, where they stand on the issues, and more. We'll see you then.